Today, I'm going to share a quick story with you of how I was the absolute worst salesperson they had ever hired. Oh my God. This is a story that I had written kind of an outline of my own personal story. And I found it in my Google Drive and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I want you to stick around because I'm going to share 4 lessons that you can pull from this training that will help you to hit 7 figures as a freight broker or freight agent. So hang tight for those tips, okay? I'm going to take you back. It was 1992. I was a senior in college and I was the typical broke college student and I needed money. I mean, just like everybody else, I needed money to pay my bills, pay my rent, and the occasional night out with some buddies. So I saw a job ad in the college newspaper and they were hiring salespeople. So I applied for this job and had no clue what to expect. And I'd never had any sales experience. So you can imagine my shock when they actually hired me. Okay. I mean, I had no clue what sales was all about. I had no experience in sales. My family, my parents had never been in sales. Nobody I knew was ever in sales, right? I got hired and day one, I remember being so scared that I probably only made a few sales calls the entire day. It was like the phone weighed 100 pounds and I was deathly afraid to put myself out there and to make any phone calls. We'll fast forward a couple weeks into this whole charade and I'm basically just trying to hide because I don't want them to find out and the gig is up and then they fire me because I needed money to pay my rent. I mean, that's just being honest, right? And then it happened. One of the top salespeople in the office showed me his commission check and my mind was blown. And the first thing that came to my mind was, if this guy can do it, I can do it. So that's when I began my journey. That's when I went on a mission. What I realized is that I knew that randomly just picking up the phone and reading some dumb, outdated sales script was not going to pay the bills. So what I did is I immersed myself into every book, every cassette tape, every video, every sales training I could get my hands on. Now, this is pre-internet, okay? So it's not like today where you can jump on YouTube or you can jump on LinkedIn or you can jump on just the internet in general and get all access to all kinds of training. This is pre-internet, but I immersed myself. And what I learned was some very important lessons early on, and that was how to get my prospect's attention, how to follow up without annoying and alienating my prospect, right? How to close the sale without feeling or sounding like a slimy car salesman, right? And then what I realized is I started to apply those lessons. I started to apply what I had learned. And believe it or not, you're going to be shocked. It worked. Sales started to come in. It was pretty amazing. And I was shocked myself. But I was also hooked. I realized at that point that I had just hit gold. I had realized that I had developed a skill, pay my bills long into the future. And I didn't realize the ultimate impact of this on myself. But later on, it came full circle. And we're going to talk about that. So I want you to stick around because I'm going to share 4 lessons that you can pull from this training that will help you to hit 7 figures as a freight broker or freight agent. So hang tight for those tips, okay? Based upon what I had learned in my sales immersion, I had created version 1.0 of my sales system. And so within a few short months, believe it or not, I was one of the top salespeople in the office. And those lessons and that experience put me on my way to developing the version 1.0 of my freight broker sales accelerator system. Fortunately, over the last 30 years, I've been able to do over $200 million as an entrepreneur. I built 4 multi-million-dollar companies in 4 different industries. And for those of you that have followed me, you kind of know the story. But this is, again, the foundation of my freight broker sales accelerator system that allowed me to do over $200 million as a broker. Along the way, I've taught this sales system to over 1,000 students from around the world, right? My freight broker sales accelerator. Many of them have went on to get tons of clients, build 7- and 8-figure freight brokerages, right? I've been very, very blessed. I played a small role in that. And my system is now the foundation of their business. What I want you to understand first, before we dive into that, success in sales doesn't have anything to do with me personally. I'm just an average Joe, believe it or not. The fact is, I'm an introvert. Most people don't realize it, but I'm very introverted. So it's possible to do well in sales because it didn't come naturally for me. Success in sales is about having a winning system, a winning sales system. That's what you have to understand. It's kind of like having a sales GPS that helps you to navigate through the sales process easily and painlessly, so that customers fall out the other end. Ultimately, that became the foundation of my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program. And again, I want to share with you 4 lessons. The number 4 is most important. So you got to stick around for number 4, okay? Number 1, the foundation of all the success was the fact that I was willing to try new things. I was willing to fail. I applied for that sales job. I had no experience. I had no idea what I was doing. I jumped out of the plane and I didn't have a parachute, and I found one on the way down before I hit ground level, right? Thank God. But for you, be willing to try new things, whether that be a new business, whether that be a new sales technique or new strategy or something that you've learned. Be willing to try new things. Be willing to fail. That's probably one of my superpowers, is my willingness to fail. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, systems over tactics. What I mean by that is this. It's very simple. You can go online to TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and wherever else online, and you can find hundreds of different sales tactics, sales scripts, sales rebuttals, okay? But the fact is, one-off tactics are not going to create a predictable and sustainable flow of new customers into your business. You have to have a proven sales system. There's a difference between a sales system and a sales tactic. I hope you understand. Sales system takes you from A to Z through the entire process. Sales tactic is just one step or one rung in the ladder, okay? That's what the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator is all about, right? The Freight Broker Sales Accelerator is where I take that piece of my brain and I teach you everything I know about freight broker sales, my favorite strategies, tactics, tools, but most importantly, my entire freight broker sales system that allowed me to do over $200 million as a freight broker. Now, if you guys are curious about that and you're interested in learning more about that, and you'd like me to help you get more shippers, teach you my entire process, you can get on the wait list at freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. Okay. Number 3 lesson, number 3 tip here. Introverts can be good at sales. Yes, I'm an introvert. Most people think that salespeople have to be extroverts. They have to be the life of the party. They have to be the ones always to be the center of attention. And that's just not true, because that's not me. And I've been very blessed to do extremely well in sales. All right. So introverts can be successful at sales. Don't put yourself in that box and say, hey, I'm an introvert, I won't do good at sales, because that's not true. Some of the things about introverts that make them very good salesperson, they have a tendency to listen more than they talk. And that is a key ingredient to sales success, okay? There's a lot of other things that are there as well, but that's a key component. So just understand something. Introverts can be good at sales. They can be good as a freight broker or freight agent, okay? So don't lose that. That's very important. And the last tip that I'm going to share with you that I really want you to lean in on, very, very important that you understand, the key to success in sales is to emulate success. So what do I mean by that? You need to find somebody who's already done what you're looking to do. It's very, very simple. So for example, if you're looking to build a 7-figure freight brokerage, hire somebody or emulate somebody, or find a mentor who's already hit 7 figures in sales. If you're looking to build an 8-figure freight brokerage, doing 10 million, 50 million, 75 million in sales, that's when you need to find that person who's already done that, because the challenges of going from startup to $1 million and $1 million to 10 million and 10 million to 100 million are different. So you want somebody who has hands-on proven experience as an entrepreneur, as a freight broker, as a salesperson. Okay. So that's number 4. Listen, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I wasn't sure if this was something you were going to find value in. Hit me up in the comments. Give me a range. Tell me how you feel about this training and what you learned from it. 1 meaning, Dennis, this was a complete waste of my time. 10, I absolutely loved it. This was perfect. Thank you. Give us more trainings like this. I'd love to get your feedback. My goal is to always just provide more value for you. Sometimes it's hard to come up with new topics for these weekly trainings, but I do appreciate you guys being here. If you guys want to get on the wait list for the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, it's on the screen, freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. That's where you'll get full details and you'll get notified when spots open up for that program. If you guys are just interested in becoming a freight broker and you're just early in the stage and you're looking for startup training, you can check that out at freightbrokerbootcamp.com. Trained over 10,000 students in the startup training. And again, we offer a 60-day, 100% unconditional money back guarantee. Appreciate you guys being here. Hit the like button, share the stream, and I'll see you next week on the next Freight Broker Bootcamp Live.